Hi friends, I am Hemant. Welcome to my channel Embedded Automation, where you can learn technology. Hi, I am Hemant. Welcome to my channel Embedded Automation. In this video, I am going to discuss on Serial Peripheral Interface Protocol. SPI is a synchronous communication protocol used for the short distance communication in embedded systems. SPI protocol is used to send the data between the microcontrollers and peripherals such as sensors, ADCs, shift registers, and many more. In this, the microcontroller and peripherals can communicate in full duplex mode. This protocol works on master slave architecture with single master and multiple slaves. SPI is also called as 4-wire serial bus. The SPI bus specifies the 4 logic signals. First one is S clock, that is serial clock, that is generated by the master, output from the master. Second one is a MOSI, master output, slave input. So the data output from the master. Third one is a MISO, master input, slave output. Here the slave sends data to the master. Data output from slave. At last, the last signal is slave select, that is represented by SS, or it can be represented by CS, means chip select. Both are active low signals, and output from the master. So this is a single master single slave configuration. This is a basic SPA bus. This consists of the 4 logic signals, that is S clock, MOSI, MISO, and SS. So coming to the operation here, the SPA bus can operate with a single master device with one or more slaves. So as shown here is the single master and the single slave configuration. If a single slave device is used, the SS pin is set to the active low. To begin the communication between the master and slave, first the master configures the clock signal, serial clock, with a frequency supported by the slave devices in the range of a few megahertz. The master then selects the slave device with a logic 0 on the SS pin. Next, during each SPA clock cycle, a full duplex transmission occurs. Master and slave can communicate with each other. The master sends the bits on the MOSI line and the slave reads it, while the slave sends the bits on the MISO line and the master reads it. Multiple slave devices have to select with the individual slave select. Sometimes it called as chip select line. And slave select is used to instead of an addressing concept. So that is an operation of single master to single slave configuration. Now we are going to discuss about the single master and 3 independent slave configuration. We are having the single master here, and there are 3 independent slaves. In this configuration, there is an individual slave select line for each slave. You can find out here, this is a SS bar or CS1, SS2 or CS2, this is SS3 or CS3. So the master holds the only one slave select at a time. The master is connected to the first slave by connecting the slave select pin of the master to the slave select pin of the slave, and coming to this, the slave select pin of 2 is connected to the slave select pin of the second slave, and slave select pin of the master is connected to the slave select pin of the third slave. This is how we can configure the single master and multiple slave configurations where we have multiple slave select pins. Then only it is possible to communicate with the multiple slaves. Is coming to this, it is a single master and cooperative slaves. SPA may be connected in a daisy chain configuration. What is a daisy chain here is wiring scheme in which multiple devices are wired together in a sequence similar to a garland. In this configuration, the first slave output being connected to the second slave input. Next, the second slave output is being connected to the third slave input, and so on. So coming to the master input slave output configuration, directly we can connect the third slave to the master MISO line. The main difference between the daisy chain model and independent slave configuration, you can find out here. We are having only one chip select or slave select pin. From this pin only we can configure the 3 slaves. That is the difference between the independent slave configuration and daisy chain model. first we are going to discuss about the clock polarity. The clock polarity determines the polarity of the clock. There are two clock polarities here. One is a clock polarity 0 and clock polarity 1. Clock polarity 0 is called as a non-inverted polarity and clock polarity 1 is called the inverted polarity. In clock polarity 0 is a clock which ideal state at 0 and active state at 1. So and each cycle consists of a pulse 1. In this case, the leading edge is rising edge and trailing edge is falling edge. So in this case, this is a rising edge, this is a falling edge, this is a falling edge. This edge is called trailing edge. So coming to the clock polarity 1, this is also called as an inverted polarity. In this case, the ideal case is at 1 and active state is at 0 and each cycle constitutes of a pulse of 0. In this case, here this is active state, so here the leading edge is falling edge because this is false state. Okay, so the leading edge is a falling edge and trailing edge here is rising edge. So this is the concept of clock polarity. Now coming to the clock phase, this is represented by the CPHA. This clock phase determines the timing of the data bits related to the clock pulses. Here there are two cases. When clock phase equal to 0, data will be sampled at the leading edge of the clock, and clock phase equal to 1, data will be sampled at the trailing edge of the clock. Data sample means receiving the data. So in case of C phase equal to clock phase equal to 0, data received at the leading edge of the clock. In case of clock phase equal to 1, data will be received at the trailing edge of the clock.